Hello, everybody. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I know I'm 5 minutes late. I apologize. Got really worked up with Terry's Tribe today, as I had a lot of things to update them on. In fact, I have to write a note here of something I've got to do. Mondays are always full of adventure. I wish I didn't have to speak that, but I'm not actually manifesting that. I'm actually reacting to Mondays. Hi, I'm Terri Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, and welcome to the channel. If you've never been here before, welcome. If you're watching me live, please post in the comments that you're here, or if you're not watching me live, still post in the comments. I got to go like this. You'll notice that my camera's different today, and that's because I'm broadcasting from inside my house instead of my studio / shop. And the reason I'm doing that today is because I am waiting for a delivery. My husband is resting, or sleeping, I'm the early riser. And he warned me that there could be a very early delivery that he doesn't want to miss. And we're still working on a way to let me know when I'm in my studio, which is detached, how I might know if someone's at our front door. But I told my husband I was more than happy. This was Monday. Usually my broadcasts here are a lot shorter. And so I was happy to broadcast from inside the house today and wait for the delivery. So that's good because he really doesn't want to miss it. Do you ever have that delivery, especially during this pandemic, where people kind of drop it on your porch and run? And sometimes they don't even ring the doorbell, and you open the door and there's a box, and oh, how nice. I'm grateful that I have a picket fence for my dog. We built a picket fence for my little dog, Tilly, who is a little bulldog, who wanted to see all the other dogs, but I didn't have a way to keep her enclosed inside my yard. So we built this picket fence so she could run back and forth and say hi to all the dogs. And so now I have my little dog, Rocket, and she does the same thing. So the picket fence seems to make it harder for people, to come up on the porch, to take stuff, for example. And just makes it a little more, it's not so easy. But it's really the best idea, as to when the doorbell rings, or in our case it's a train whistles, that you go check it right away and make sure that nothing's out there. So I told my husband I would be here. So if I have to jump up and you see only my little area here, then that I went to get that delivery. So good morning. So I thought I would share with you today, if you guys, I had my first experience with clickbait. I didn't really understand. I'm almost, this is the year I turned 65. What? And I didn't understand what clickbait was actually. And then I became I partook of it without even knowing. I got really nervous because someone had announced, I think it was on Twitter. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but it was very sensationalistic. It came across my feed, Monorail to be closed, and Monorail to be eliminated from Disneyland was kind of what the closed at Disneyland. And then you clicked on it, or closed, not, and will not reopen. Something like that. So Monorail will close and not reopen. And I freaked out because I was like, what are you planning on doing? Getting rid of the monorail? I mean, after all, Chapek has been doing some really radical things. So although I would never believe that you would take such an iconic thing out, I was nervous. And so I asked all of you guys on Friday on the Ask Me Anything. And I also asked my tribe. And I was worried, but I shouldn't have gotten worried because, there's a lot of things on the internet that are just absolutely fake, or, as many of you who are savvy in this genre, clickbait, which makes you click it. And once you click it, it makes you special. And the more clicks, the more, your video is watched. And then the algorithms boost it up and all this stuff that I don't understand, right? All this crazy stuff that I don't get. So I thought I would talk to you about that today, and realized that, fake news can come in all shapes and sizes if people are trying to build their channel in an adverse way. And I'm not saying that person did that, but it certainly snagged me, because I was like, what? and only to find out, thanks, because I've got you guys and I've got my tribe, which I am going to let you know. What's the tribe? What are you talking about if you're new? Right here, patreon.com/Terri Hardin is my Patreon page, and we are known as Terris Tribe, where people of like minds gather together and support each other, pretty much just have these amazing conversations. It's nice because it has a private Facebook page and a private channel, and I speak with them before I come and speak to you live every week. And then on Wednesdays, we have a Zoom call where we actually get on the Zoom and chat. It's lovely. It's really wonderful. We spotlight new members and stuff. In fact, today, one of the members said, how about bringing that back? A lot of people got nervous. They didn't want to be spotlit, or spotlighted. And so I stopped it. And now one of our members is asking if we can do that again. And I would love to do that. In fact, there's no reason why I couldn't spotlight again people who have been spotlighted before, because your life changes and that would be kind of fun to do. You grow or whatever. In the case, one of the guys that is with us in the tribe, he creates light shows. So it would be very interesting to hear about the latest light show he did for Christmas around the holidays. He creates a light show. It's always fun to hear about that, but all different types of things. Yeah. One of the wonderful people, Melissa, she cleans, and she's always, every once in a while, if we want to ask her, we ask about tips on cleaning, because she's about ecology and stuff like that. So she doesn't necessarily say, get the most lethal thing, light a match, blow your house up, start over. That's not her. She's very, very, she helps us to clean safely. So it's not just about artists on there. $5 a month, $60 a year is how you join. So that's the first tier. And if you want to go up in tiers, you can. This is the year I fill up the other tiers. I don't have a lot of content in the tiers above $5 because I've decided, for me, I got to focus on little things rather than eat the entire frog. It's good just to take little bites. So that's the Patreon page. And back to the monorail, I realize that I've got to go, when I have questions like this, to websites that I trust. And the one that I love is Dusty Sage's Mice Chat. I used to write for them. In fact, Dusty and I have been discussing that I write for them again. But I used to write these long-winded story explanations, and I'd like to come up with something where I just do little paragraphs, so that maybe once or twice a week or twice a week or so, I do a little paragraph bubble, something you can read quickly. And maybe we call it the Disney Journal and talked about what you would put in a journal about Disney or something. I don't know. If you have an idea, let me know, because I would love to hear it. But again, that's why I'm here today, inside here, is because I'm waiting for delivery. And I'm trying to sit so that you see that light reflecting right there. I don't have my professional lighting, but I'm trying not to have that light go into your eyes. So there you go. But anyway, so Mice Chat sent me a lovely article, and it talks about the monorail and what is the truth about the Disneyland monorail. No, it's not going away forever. They just painted it with cute little Mickeys and Minnies on it. So why would they be? It just sounded ridiculous to me anyway. But it was scary because Chapek has done some things that I never thought Disney would agree to. So I thought, maybe. So it got me. Yeah, it snagged me. And that clickbait is something else, isn't it? I got to be careful. My husband says, watch out for clickbait. I didn't even know what the word meant, So there you go. But the monorail is going to shut down. What actually was going to happen, according to the real news from Mice Chat. And if you haven't been to micechat.com, I highly recommend that you follow them, because they really have their hands on the pulse of what Disney's going on, and it's truthful and told in a way that someone like me can follow it. So I highly recommend it. And Dusty's stuff. He also has lovely events. They've got the I think the rally, it either just happened or it's about to happen. Forgive me, dates are a little fuzzy for me right now. But they do this rally, and it's cool and it's fun. He always has fun events that they do with Mice Chat. So it's a fun little place to be at. And he explained that originally the monorail was going to close at the end of the month because they are getting ready to renovate downtown Disney. Yeah. Apparently they are going to, and I would have loved to show you a picture, but go to micechat.com and look for yourself. I didn't want to take the picture from that because I didn't have permission, and I'm really about intellectual property. So I didn't want to take it from them without getting a hold of him, and I saw it late last night. So go there and take a look, but it looks a lot like the original Tomorrowland. And I said, wouldn't it be nice if they did the renovated Tomorrowland inside of Disney so it went back to the way Walt originally had it? You remember I told you that if you kept Disneyland Retro, just that park, that parents could then take kids to experience what Walt saw when they were kids. Now we have so many other parks, California Adventure Parks and parks in Tokyo and France and everywhere else, that those could be the ones that go up. But if you kind of kept Disneyland kind of retro, it would be a nice way for people to see what you went through as a kid. You could share it with your kids. You know, my thoughts. That's just my thoughts, my idea. One of my ideas. But anyway, so the monorail will stop running. But what they did is they pushed the dates back so that it would coincide with the people who are renovating that area around there of downtown Disney, because they're going to demolish the AMC theaters, I understand it, and they're going to do this really cool retro looking go-go 60s vibe. I'm telling you, look at the pictures. It looks like they're going back in time. It really is interesting. Yeah, many of you, as I read the article with Mice Chat, have a concern for the Earl of Sandwich, but apparently the Earl of Sandwich says they're going to create a satellite place where they are going to be still serving, but then there's a place for them. There's a place for them right in the new renovated area. So it looks like they're not leaving, according to Mice Chat, but one never knows, do they? Until the hammer falls. So hopefully they will survive. There are many places that do not. In fact, Mice Chat shows you a few signs of places that will be leaving and not returning. So that's what's happening with the monorail. The monorail is just going to go asleep for a while. I would imagine that when it does, in other words, it's not going to be working. It'll go back to its little station, and then the mechanics will maybe give it a nice look over. I know they did it already once before, but twice doesn't hurt. You might as well, if it's out of commission for a little while for the renovation, that you can just take a fine-tooth comb and go over it and make it all wonderful and prissy and everything and get all ready for it. So for those of you who may have been like me that went, what? No monorail? And said, that's ridiculous. Calm down. We have to breathe. It's not true. It's fake news. It is not going to be around for a while, but it's coming back. Yay! I couldn't imagine that it wouldn't, but I was nervous about it. I will tell you, I was like, how could this possibly be? But when you're not, my social media is, I don't know if I told you this before, but my social media is dog pedaling. I am like just treading water all the time. I am not a super guru. In fact, my friend Joe, who is about to get to 1,000 on his YouTube channel, and he said he's been away from it for a while. So what's he doing? I don't know. Took a look at my channel and said, "Gosh, you have under 300 people." Well, there you go. So he's been giving me some suggestions, ways to reach out to you to build the channel. But you may notice if you've been on this channel for a while, it goes in lots of directions like my brain. So it may not be for you. You may be a YouTuber who wants to see a cute cat video and the cat video channel. You can always go to the cat video channel and see cat videos, right? Or they tell you how to do something like how to build your YouTube channel, for example. And you want to go there and have him not talk about eating ice cream. when you're looking to go to the YouTube channel. I am a Disney Imagineer, and my life is eclectic. So it is this channel is eclectic. I mean, if you notice when you click on it, it doesn't really tell you a lot about me because I have trouble getting to that. I mean, it tells about me a little bit, but this is the year that I'm going to work to at least fine tune my YouTube channel and get out to those who might want to subscribe. But if you know someone who might find these stories entertaining or enlightening, and I'm always telling stories, it goes in various directions. So it's very unusual, as I understand, for a YouTube channel. But I look at it like this is me. Okay. And so the channel is, if you were talking to me at a luncheon, this is kind of what it's like. I tell stories and then I ask about you, ask you to post in the comments and tell me about you. It really is like talking to me. So if that's what you like, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. But I'm not, and this is where my brain, it's all about your mindset. And if my mindset isn't about raising my numbers, then my numbers may not raise as quickly as others. But I really like who's here and I like who interacts with me and I love talking to you guys and I'd love to talk to more. But I don't want to clickbait you. I definitely don't want to do that. That really was uncomfortable for me. When I saw that and my husband explained to me that people do this, I was like, yuck, bleh, bleh. Also, many people have advised me maybe to do reviews or maybe interview people, and I might, but it's really not my thing. Okay. I have a huge sculpting schedule. I do a lot of work. And then I'm also 65 years old. So I want to do some of my own stuff. And so, interviewing, I might consider interviewing in the future. I might. And if I do, I'm more than happy to do that. It's not that I'm adverse to it. It's just that it's another cog that I would have to figure out. And I'm not so sure that that's going to be as important as getting more content on my Patreon page for people. So you got to pick your battles, and as much as I would love to interview people for you, many channels do that already and they interview me as well. So I don't know if that's going to be the direction of this channel. And if it means less followers, then so be it. Okay. And if you're someone who wants to do a channel, I encourage you not to make it so much about the numbers that you start to become something that you'd rather not become. Okay. You may have 5 million viewers, but now you're burning out because you know no longer. So my husband watches a guy who's a photographer. He's a very good photographer. He's had a lot of work and stuff, and he has a lot of followers. But he, as many others, said, I'm getting burned out. And one of the things that they mentioned was that they're not going out and shooting. They've changed it to recommending. Their channel has become something that recommends camera equipment, and or they interview other photographers, and it's not what they do. They want to go out and shoot beautiful pictures. That's why they became photographers. And that's why I became artists, is to create art. So I do want to show you how to do stuff and talk to you about doing that. That's one of the things I want to do this year. This is my celebrating fix, is start to put other content up where you can learn some things or learn a few things, maybe behind the scenes with me and stuff. But my Patreon page is first and foremost, and I want to do that there for sure. So, what am I trying to say here with the monorail and things like that, where the monorail story taught me that people are thinking different things. So some people will review television shows and stuff because if it's a popular show and you review it, then a lot of people come and want to hear your review of it, and then they show parts of it, but that's intellectual property. And I'm sure you understand what that means. That's somebody else's property in the case of like Disney's property or things like that. So you can't show a lot of it, or YouTube will pull you down because you're showing something that's not been you authorized to sell. So there's a fine line in between where you can show a little bit of it, and as long as you don't show too much, you're okay. But I barely know the internet myself, so I don't want to get into that. I will put a picture up. You've seen me do a little thumbnail and talk about stuff. In fact, maybe Friday we could talk about Boba Fett. But I'm not going to show sequences of Boba Fett because I'm not authorized to do that. And I don't have enough time, or I don't want to take the time to study that thin line of how much I can use before I get cut. You see, it's just not that important to me and this channel. So what am I trying to say to you? What I'm trying to say to you is this. If you're going to do a channel, make it about you and make sure that you're having fun doing it, or you could burn out. If you make it all about the numbers and not about the people who are coming, you guys, then you're going to get burned out. And I'm not burned out because although I may only have 200 something followers, just under 300, you guys are here because you like what you see. And I love every single one of you. I don't need a lot of caviar. Okay. But I'm not going to not eat caviar. It's my favorite. You see what I'm saying? I don't need oceans of caviar, even though it's one of my favorite things. I don't need tons of champagne. Oh, well, maybe I do. I love champagne. Anyway, you guys are the champagne. You're the creme de la creme. You're the creme de la creme, So I just really am happy that you're here. And I'm not really looking, I'm not I would rather talk to who I've got than go out but worry about where I might get more. If you know someone that you think would enjoy this channel because I'm truthful and I'm open and I'll talk about it and I do the Ask Me Anything and answer your questions, great. And if not, great. Okay. So that's my mindset. Okay, so I will look to see. I think it's very sweet of Joe to send me to someone that might help me build my channel. But I want to build my channel so it's not a burden to me, that it's actually fun like it is now for me to do, which makes me show up every time. Does that make sense, guys? You understand what I'm trying to say there? I do want to let you know that I'm going to be at Mousecon Bakersfield. So if you're in the California area and you can get to Mousecon in Bakersfield, I will be there. My friend Kimberly will be there too. She's got an amazing new cookbook where she asked people affiliated with the Disney company in a multitude of ways, celebrities, if you will, to put recipes in. And I have a recipe in there. And she's going to be there. She's going to be signing her book and showing her book. And I'll be there. We'll be doing panel discussions. Also, the amazing Willie Ito will be there. Animator, designer, Disney legend. He will be there too. So I know there's going to be more amazing people there. I just won't know till I get there. It's one day. It's the end of the month it's 10 to 5. I could not find that. It is 10 to 5. So I should tell my tribe members if they want to join me for breakfast, maybe we can do that because it doesn't start till 10. As long as I'm set up, we might be able to do that. But anyway, sorry, I digress. It's going to be Sunday, the 30th. So it's the last Sunday of January. It should be really nice. And understand that we're going to protect ourselves because COVID is still out there. But with it being at the end of the month, we're all praying things will die down. And but we will still do the things that we should: wash our hands, distance a bit, mask up, all that kind of stuff. Get our boosters, get our things like that. So there you go. So there it is. We don't need to be worried about the monorail. I am wearing my colorful Ted Lasso shirt today. Because I also want to point out that you don't have to love Disney and only Disney. You can love a bunch of things. And I have a smorgasbord of things that I love. Yeah, I love a lot of stuff, which means my paws are in everything. So last Friday, I showed you my Lego, and I'm so obsessed with this Lego Titanic. It isn't funny. So I have to organize. This is what happens if you are someone who works from home. And you're not it's not like a job, but you are on your own. You kind of set your own hours like I do. I do my whole job is me. So I have clients, and then I have to set a schedule to make sure my clients get their things in a timely fashion. Try and do that during COVID. It's really not easy. So the hitchhiking ghosts, I will be boxing those up today. I got a set of 5 again, and another 5 are on their way. So if you have ordered those illuminating hitchhiking ghosts, thank you for your patience. But COVID got us, and they light up. And as an artist, I got to the point where I was like, light up. I don't want to do anything that lights up ever again. But they are really lovely and beautiful. Just a lot of hard work for me. So it looks like we're coming down the home stretch. So if you were sweet enough to say, I'm going to get them when I get them, thank you for that. I love you for that, for understanding that it's a tough time to get some of the components we need to make these ghosts be the way I want them. And I'm super particular about them. We also have the blacklight ghosts, and at Mousecon, I will be demonstrating those. I may have illuminating ones, but I may not. But I definitely will have the blacklight ghosts there. And then if you saw the Friday broadcast, I showed you a box and said Friday I would unveil what's inside the box. That's my new sculpture. And I hope you'll join me Friday for the Ask Me Anything to see what that is. On Patreon, they already know because my tribe gets to see those things first. And also, if you join the Patreon page and join the tribe, $5 a month, $60 a year, then you get to have an active part. There's a lot going on there. I over-deliver. That's just my attitude. If you join me there. So consider it. Go over, take a peek. Patreon.com/Terri Hardin. And we'd love to have you there if you want to come. Your voice is important. It's not just about my voice. That's what I love about that page and my tribe, is that it's about all our voices coming together, and it's a hoot. It's great. It's not just a lot of blah, 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 blah. It's really awesome. Yeah, it's seriously awesome. Okay, well, now I've chatted enough. I think I've told you everything that I wanted to tell you. Oh, the Rolly Crump chess set is coming along. I finished the Candleman, so I've got to show that to Rolly, and then I am starting on the next piece, which is the Bishop. So stay tuned. I'll show you that, maybe a little bit that on Friday. But there's, January, as we all know, is the month of many things coming together. So, for example, if you are in the business, if you are an entrepreneur of sorts and you sell a product, then sales tax is possibly in your wheelhouse. That's in mine. And taxes. Here they come. Walking down the street. So I've got to get that ready too. So there's a lot happening that I'm just trying to protect that light. There's a lot going on. And so what I was trying to tell you is you got to sort of map out your days so that you don't do what you like is super fun. So I'm building this Lego Titanic, and that's all I want to do. But I know better. I have to have the discipline of getting my work done. Okay. There's things that I need to get finished in order to do what I need to do for the future. Right? So I can't just blow everything off and just build the Titanic till it's done. It's huge. It's 9,090 pieces. So it's not that easy to do. And it's 3 sections in 2 parts each section, and it's super cool. But I just want to play. So if I want to play, I do that in the evening, or I give myself an hour in the morning to do it, and then I have to get to work. So it's kind of better to put that carrot at the end. So for me, that Titanic carrot is at the end. Building that Lego Titanic is just amazing. It's massive, guys. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Maybe I'll show it to you Friday. You ask me and I'll show you how far I'm coming along. But I've actually scheduled time to build it and have to keep to that schedule is what I'm saying. So if you have something you really want to do, let's say you've got a book you want to read. Okay, I just saw a wonderful documentary on Harry Potter. And although the movies were nice for me, what I loved about them was the art. And a friend of mine, when I went to London, took me to see the actual sets. And I spent a lot of time around the actual sets. I just got really emotional being able to be a part of those sets, because those sets are gorgeous. They're just so beautifully, the artisans who came together to create those. That's what dazzled me. I love the acting and I love the characters in them. Don't get me wrong. I loved everybody. I have that crazy box set that was like, what, $300 back in the day. So, but I like the behind the scenes stuff. So that's kind of my thing, is that I love the movies, but I wanted to see the behind the scenes stuff. My point is that if you're going to write, like you're a writer, like J.K. Rowling, who wrote these amazing books. She probably did the same thing. You wrote, sometimes it grabs you and you just write until you run out. But if you have other obligations like eating, you have to schedule them. If you're an artist and you're someone who needs, you could just go through the day without eating, drinking, sleeping, and whatever. You have to make a schedule, create a calendar, and then stick to it. Set little alarms and stuff, and that will help you to keep to it. Now, if you don't keep to it, if this is not something that you do, don't beat yourself up about it. You make a list of what you'd like to get done during the week. I usually do that on a Sunday, or I usually do it Saturday because Sunday's my family day. Again, I schedule a day to spend with my husband where the social media goes off, everything stops, and we spend the day together. Yesterday was an exception because I needed to get something done, and bless his heart for granting me that opportunity, because he could see I was really tired and I was really focused. And so I apologized for that. And I want to, but usually Sundays when everything shuts off and it's just him and I, so that we have a whole day of just being together. And I think that's as important as your work, is to make sure your relationship with the person you love, that person gets to see and understand that you are willing to put it all away and devote at least 24 hours to them. It's the least you can do every week. We still, I make dinner every day and breakfast, and we sit and we chat throughout the day. But you know what I mean? Rather than grab little cherries off the vine throughout the week, I want to make sure he has a whole day for him. And then if he has a vacation, then I try to give him as much as his vacation. So I schedule that. Key is scheduling. Okay, because that's your mindset. So if you get back to clickbait and everything, and you're obsessed with your social media and you just can't get off that phone or whatever, that's something that is not my challenge. But then I didn't grow up with it. So I'm not judging you there. It's just that when you say to someone, I'm here for you, you don't want to be doing this. No, really, I'm here for you. Oh, wait, I've got a few more likes. I'm here for you. You know these people. And it does break your heart a little if they can't get their nose out of their smartphone or out of their social media long enough, or let me film this for let me film this for my followers. Let me just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Yeah. So make sure if you're going to devote a day to your family and friends, that you devote that day, and if you do have to answer something, I have my mom in the convalescent hospital. So I have to say, excuse me, this is important. Can you give me a minute? As long as you ask permission, that way your friends know that you're really present for them. So there you go. So you can see, guys, how my channel is like, it's my head. So if it's something that you like, please follow it. And if it's not, I love you anyway. Okay. Thanks for popping in, by the way. Okay. Let's find out what's on your mind. Okay. Because that's kind of my favorite thing to do live. And again, a lot of times you guys are going to feel like, so let's see what we've got here. Okay, so here, this is just what I'm talking about. Good morning, happy Monday. Don't forget to mention your YouTube channel often so we can get your subscriber numbers higher. There he is. That's my friend Joe. So you see, the YouTube channel, all you have to do is go in the search engine and click Terri Hardin and you'll find me. Oh, by the way, he also reminds me to tell you that many of you were asking about my early puppetry stuff. As you know, I'm Jim Henson puppeteer. And if you guys don't know that, I've been with Jim Henson since 1989. I met him in 82. If you want to hear that story, Friday. Okay. But I did a lot of puppetry as a young person, and I still do it occasionally. Well, I do puppets all the time, but I mean with Henson Company. But you can see some of my early stuff. I have on my YouTube channel playlists. So you can go through my playlists, and this one is called Early Puppet Performances. I'm keeping it simple. Okay. So you can go through those and check out some of my interviews, some of my show, some of my, kind of what's going on, and when in doubt, Google me. Okay. Then you can find me everywhere. All right. So thank you. for saying that, Joe. Really sweet of you. First one up. See, he's watching my back for me. He is. Good morning, Randy. And there's Bob Berdeen. Leslie, how are you doing? Good morning, honey. Happy New Year. There she is. Yeah, see, he thought that I would. And my Patreon page, I suggest because your voice is just as important as mine. So it's a very okay. So here's the thing, guys. You notice I'm different, not only from the hair, but the brain works differently. Okay, it just does. In fact, my acting teacher, I'm a character actress as well. Been in a couple of shows, done Ghostbusters, Men in Black, something like that, right? But she said I need to realize that I'm different from everybody else and own it, like I'm really different. So that's why this channel, you maybe, if you're here going, it's really different. It is. And, you know, that's all I can say. So my Patreon page is the same thing. It took on a life of its own, and it's really about a group of people getting together and talking about all kinds of things. Some people want to try something new and maybe they're nervous about it. Some people are interested, like, for example, on the Patreon page, one of the tribe said they'd like to try something unusual. And I told them about my forensic sculpting class, where you are given a skull of an actual victim and you have to create you work with a forensic anthropologist and a forensic dentist, and you work to make the face of that person so that the family can find out if they are, you follow what I'm saying? And it's called facial reconstruction class, and it's amazing. And a lot of the faces we do are people that cross over from the Mexican border and try to go over the hill. You hear that? So wait, let me give a listen. It's probably just the 1 minute. I'm going to check. Just give me 1 minute. Thank you for being so understanding. I really appreciate it. It wasn't the delivery, but I thought I saw the mailman. And if it was the mailman, boy, is he early. Nah, it wasn't the mailman, but it was a guy with a satchel. So I was like, but not for me. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So like he says, he's helping me, and the tribe is something where we get together if you want to try something new. Let's say you never painted, or you drew as a kid and now you're thinking about drawing, or you are thinking about doing a channel and you want to know truthfully what's it like to do it. You're going to find out from me, especially if you're an older person. If you're someone like me who did not grow up with this media, a lot of times people will get in the tribe and say, what's it like to do it? And it's a struggle. It can be a struggle. I'm honestly going to tell you, it's not all roses. It takes work. It's work. And what if you don't want to be on camera? What if you're nervous about being on camera? What if you're afraid you're going to flub up? Well, I screwed up big time when I started. I couldn't figure out, I used my phone to broadcast live at first, and I couldn't figure out how to make it go horizontal. It kept being vertical. So I filmed it horizontal, and then when I posted it, I was like this, my very first one. And I just did it. So that's what the Patreon page is for. That's what the tribe is for, is to privately discuss with you, how can we get you to where you want to be? Okay. I thought it was going to be people asking me about my art, which they do. People asking me about what's going on in my life, which they do. But it's really more about what's happening in your lives and how can I help you? And all for $5 a month, $60 a year. It's a bargain. So Anyway, so there you go. That's that page. And that's the goal, is to do more content this year in both areas. This channel for you and also Patreon page. Oh, and guess what? I'm finally going to get my website fine-tuned. Yeah, right now it's good. It's sort of like 3 legs down, 1 leg up, or maybe 2 legs down. And if the 2 legs are on the same size, so I'm going to work on that as well. So there's some things just I've focused on doing this while sculpting. So sculpturally, I'm going to be working on the Roly Crump chess set, which is an endeavor in itself. But also I will be introducing this one little sculpture, and then I might do another little sculpture, but it won't be till the fall. Okay. So, yeah, it probably will be a fall piece. So I won't be. Last year I did Oswald the Lucky Rabbit and the Hitchhiking Ghosts, and almost put me, I mean, those Hitchhiking Ghosts were a workout, especially after when we started to have trouble getting the components for them. So I want to take a little bit of a breather and do some of my own art. I've gotten very much into painting, and I'd like to see where that takes me, because I'm looking to find out what is my signature painting, like my signature sculpture, if that makes sense. So Patreon's a great place to talk to everybody and bounce your ideas off and get truthful answers back and forth. All right, enough about that. Let's talk more. Let's see what you guys are saying. Morning, Randy. Jacob says, a special treat, 2 jokes. Oh, yes. And then here I have the benefit of people like Jacob Gardner, who loves to tell us jokes in the morning. And I really, really appreciate it, because I love the little quick, silly kind of jokes, and he's really good at it. So let's hear what Jacob has to say. What does Daisy Duck say when she buys lipstick? Put it on my bill. Come on now. That was good. That was good, guys. That was good. Come on. Give him a thumbs up for that one. Where does Captain Hook go to get his hook replaced? A, the second-hand store. LOL, just kidding. Second hook store, right? Oh, dear, 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 dear. Jacob, you are something else. You are something else. And I love when he tells jokes. I really do. My jokes are more of like a story, you know? I have the story of it. My favorite joke that I tell everybody is praise the Lord. If you haven't heard it, ask me to tell the praise the Lord story. I'll do it on Friday. I won't do it now. But praise the Lord is one of my favorite jokes, and I'm always telling it. If you know it, you know I'm always telling it, because I think it's really a funny. I don't know. I find it funny. Yeah, I like it. Hello, Stephen. Evelyn, hello, good morning. There's Jerry. See, Jerry Cornell is going to go to Mousecon. So you guys are going to have a great time if you can make it to Mousecon Bakersfield, because we got some, choice people coming. I'm so glad, Jerry. I look forward to seeing you. Let me know if I need to bring you anything. I can't remember. Was I supposed to bring you something? I don't remember. Janet says, morning again, won't be here too long, have to run to her appointment. Yes, so she may have already zipped over there. Janet goes to, she mentioned to me today that she goes to Mousecon up in Concord. And that's where I first was introduced to Mousecon. And I really, really like it. It's a more intimate con. I won't say small, because that's going to give you the wrong idea. Intimate, meaning you can interact with these people that you admire easier than at a place that is like blown up, like San Diego Comic-Con, which is like, don't even mention it. And still fun, but a lot, right? And D23, which is coming up this summer. And it's big. They're just so big that you can a lot of times miss out on getting to where you want to see the people that you admire. But I have hacks for that. So again, on Friday, if you want to ask me something, you can ask me about my D23 hacks, because I've been a guest at D23 more often than not. So if D23 has been going for, let's say, 5 years, I've been there for 4. Okay. If D23 has been going for 8 years, I've been there for 7. I only missed 1 is what I'm trying to tell you, right? So that I have lots of hacks for you if you're someone who is not going to be a sorcerer. All right. If you're going to be a sorcerer, my hacks probably won't help you, but you're willing to pay that big money That's a way that you get in first, sorcerer. So if you've never been, but you want to go to D23, then ask me the hacks on Friday. Okay. And Janet, just all that from Janet's hello. Hi, Angie. There she is. How you doing today, Miss Angie? Nobody ever thought they'd take out the Skyway either. You know what? You are absolutely right. That was a surprise. And then when they put them back at Walt Disney World, they're huge. They're just huge and enclosed, which makes me a little bit nervous about that part. I really like the sky buckets being like a couple of people. And there were people that were kind of interested in doing more in the sky buckets than they should. But with it all closed up and everything, isn't that maybe encouraging those kind of people? A question. Yeah. You see how I kept it clean though. But I walked in there and said, what is this about? When I wrote him the first time, I said, I don't know. But you're right. They did. They took out the sky buckets, and that was very sad. And they used to go through the Matterhorn, which was absolutely cool. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Janet Cunningham says, WDW Today News did it. And first through Twitter, they didn't word it right. LOL. I usually are at the bottom of it. Yeah. I feel that, you know. I don't know if it was, I cannot say if it was WDW that grabbed me and it was worded differently or not. I can't put that on them. But whoever it was, it got me. It did get me. And luckily I have a husband to explain exactly what that meant when all of you started to tell me that that's what it was last Friday. Well, the Apple Pen I got that came in that we got to replace the one that I have got for Christmas this year. Turns out they sent the wrong one. What? Oh, Jacob. And the other one we got to replace that didn't work. Yeah. See, here's the thing that you're pointing out, Jacob, saying what you're kind of backing up what I said, which is if Apple, a company like Apple, has trouble getting components, has trouble getting things to work right, like Jacob's Apple Pencil, then who am I with my hitchhiking ghost to think it's going to go over me and miss me, right? And thanks to you who bought the hitchhiking ghost, because, oh my goodness, you understand that I got hit. I got hit by the COVID. We don't have enough people. We sent you the wrong lights. It's slower than we thought. Blah, 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 blah. So thank you for being so understanding. They really were supposed to go out much earlier than this, but I really love you for being so calm and collected and waiting for them. They're worth the wait. If you bought the glowing hitchhiking ghosts, and I can't show you today because I'm in a different location, but ask me on Friday and I'll show them to you. They are spectacular. And photos, as many people who have purchased these guys, they can tell you they're so much better in person. And they really are, because I really worked hard on them. I work hard on every piece that I do, but this one was one that was taking 2 years in the making to get together, and we finally got it to work. So absolutely, Jacob, I'm in your corner. But you know what, Jacob, your drawing is coming along, and I would love for you to join the tribe, because I think you could inspire the tribe with you getting back into your drawing and doing it on an iPad. I think you could be your voice would be very welcome there. So I'd love for you to think about it. So now I just went ahead and got a brand new iPad. Oh, with a new Apple Pen. Oh, and it's the right pen that works with it. Exactly. So I can expect seeing more drawings from you. Yeah, think about joining the tribe, Jacob, because you've been sending me some fun drawings, and I think people would really be inspired by your work. So I hope that you might want to join us on that. Maybe get spotlighted if you decide to join. Yeah. I eat frogs. Yeah. Joe, have you ever heard that book, Eat That Frog? I love that book. So he says you don't have to eat the whole frog, just start with a toe. So that's where that comes from. I know you knew that, but I'm going to explain it anyway. Eat That Frog is a great book, very helpful. The other one that's a great book, if you want to know books that will help inspire you, is The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey. Okay, you can Google it. It's about yay. Let me just do it like this. It's about yay thick, very bigger type and that thick. It helps you to understand when people are trying to give you what he calls their monkey. So, if you're in a situation and someone runs up to you and they say, "Oh my goodness," they say, "Yeah, I'd love that. Thanks." That's not what they say. They say, "Oh my goodness, we have a problem." Well, this book talks about a game. Let's say you have monkeys on your back, problems or challenges or things you have to get done. So in my case, monkey I'm carrying is sales tax. Monkey I'm carrying is getting the taxes ready. Monkey I'm carrying is I have to get the Roly Crump chess set done. So I've got about 5 monkeys on my shoulders. But let's say someone comes along and they say, "Oh, Terry, I have a problem. And they have a monkey. Well, now as they tell you they have a problem, the monkey has a foot on your shoulder and now there's a foot on their shoulder, but now they've moved it onto your shoulder. So the monkey is straddling your shoulders. Okay. The goal is to give your monkey to someone else. So that person coming to you, now it's not always true, but I used to have a little nutrition center, and this happened a lot with my associates. They would say, "Oh, I need to order blah, 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 blah." And they would be out having a coffee while I was doing all the ordering, because we like to be of service. So we take on, and the next thing you know, you've got 10 monkeys on your back and they're out partying. Not always, but you know who the people are. So you might want to check out this book, The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey. It's very thin. It's a very easy read, and it's a very, very fun book. And I always recommend it to people who tend to be just a little bit too generous with their time. It's a fun way to, like if you have someone who's always trying to lay their problems on you and you want to say, "Could you do it a little less?" but you don't want to be mean because you love them, send them this book. And then the next thing you can do, this is what happened at my club, is that I would say, "Are you trying to give me your monkey?" And they would go, "Oh, yeah, I kind of am." It was kind of a sweet way to share with each other the fact that maybe they shouldn't give you their monkey on top of all the ones you already have. Yeah. So see, that all came from You Eat Frogs. Yeah. Eat That Frog is another really great book if you tend to take on too much and you're trying to do too much all at once, which is definitely me. Yeah. Monorail will be closed January 24th through February 14th. See? Here's another reason this channel is so great, okay? People like Janet who really know this stuff, okay? I can't know everything. For example, when I want to do a sculpture, I reach out to you. Like, let's say I wanted to do a Tinkerbell sculpture. I'm not going to think I know everything. I'm going to ask you who love Tinkerbell or Tigger or whichever character, what are the things I need to look out for? And we'll talk more about that when I reveal my sculpture on Friday. We'll talk specifically of how I talk to those people about this sculpture, because I can't know every character and I can't love every character. So when I'm sculpting it, the reason they're good is because I ask what? I ask you. Yes, I ask you guys. And that's right. Thank you, Janet. Very helpful. That you got a plan in there, because if you want to ride the monorail, you got to avoid these dates that Janet's telling you. So I'm going to leave this here. So just for a minute, so that you can see what Janet is saying, because bingo, that's what we want to hear. Good morning, Ava. There they are, the Crumpet Puppet Troupe. Hi, Terry. It's been a while since I joined one of these. How are you doing? It is a amazing January. So to let you know how I'm doing, I rested in the hammock between, Christmas and New Year's. Okay. That allowed me to hit the ground running on January 3rd. And I have developed a sculpture that I will reveal on Friday on the Ask Me Anything, a new one for you to pre-order. Pre-order sales will probably happen end of January, beginning of February. They could possibly happen at Mousecon, but no promises. And then update on the Roly Crump chess set. I finished the Knight, which is the Candleman. So now I have the Queen finished and in an art proof stage, and I have the knight, and now I'm working on the bishop. So that one's moving along smoothly. Yay. Haven't gotten to paint, but I did get a wonderful Lego set over the holidays called the Titanic, 9,090 pieces. And I'm in absolute heaven because I'm a little girl who, when Lego was first introduced, they introduced the brick. Yes, indeed. The 4, the 8. And I think we went, wow, when we got something like the 16 or whatever it was. And then Windows came along, and we were so excited that now we got to put glass in our buildings. Doors came along, roofs came along, and then woohoo, people. Now, fast forward to now, and there are things that are just unbelievable that are happening with this Lego set, and it is phenomenal. I am working on a piece right now. I can show it to you. I will pick it up very carefully. This is a section. I showed my patrons earlier. This is a lifeboat on the end here. And the thing about the lifeboat is it's 9 pieces. I just put it here so that I wouldn't lose it because it's super small. So here is my teeny, teeny boat. This is 9 pieces, 3 on the top. You see that? This one the size of my fingernail. So, whoa. But isn't it a cute little lifeboat? 9 pieces it takes to build it. Because Lego discovered that we like to build our stuff. We don't want like a section that is the wing and the cockpit type thing. Remember when they did that and it was all one piece? You snapped it together like in 3 parts and you had a ship. We don't like that. No, we don't like that. We like to build. That's what Lego's about. So isn't this a cute little boat? And look, it's like so little. But look at how tiny those pieces are, guys. So you got to have a dedicated space. You can't do it where cats are and all of that. But this is my section 4 of it's a Titanic that comes in 3 parts, 3 sections in 2 parts apiece. So this is the second part. And if I turn it around, there's the wall of the ship. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Like, wow. If I let the light reflect on it, you build that entire wall. Look at that. Look at you put all those pieces on. All those pieces. You build the wall, you build the interior here. Here are some floors right here. So this is like engine room down, engine stuff. And then right here are rooms. You know, there's so much more I've got to go. Ask me on Friday and I'll show you the whole thing if I can, how far I am. But I give myself, this is my carrot. So I have to do my work first before I can continue to build this because I'm obsessed with this. So yeah, and the boat is actually from my other pieces. So I'm just going to put it back on here so that I don't lose it because these pieces are so tiny that if you lose it, you would like freak out. So you have to have a dedicated spot to do it. It's huge. So the first part, it's the first 3 sections. So the front part of the boat, the back part of the boat, and the middle of the boat. The front part is about 16 inches long. Actually, let me just like turn the camera. Let me see if I can show you over there. I'm not going to get up. I'm just going to spin the camera in my house so you can see it in the distance. Can you see it in the distance over there? There it is. There it is. The roses from my husband. This is really hard to do when I'm looking at the camera. Roses from my husband. Then this is part 1 of section 2. And you saw part 2 of section 2. And then if I move over this way, this is the front part. That's 16 inches long. Aren't the smokestacks cool? Anyway, it's really awesome. And you get really obsessed about building it. You're like, ah! But on my tribe page, I'm going to load up some content. We're working on it now of the process of what it took to build it. Just for fun. Just for fun. So here we'll do some of that too, but it'll be more teaser stuff, right? Okay, so anyway, so there you go. So that's how I'm doing. I am working on a schedule to keep me from playing with my Legos when I should be doing my work. So we do the work first, and then we go and do that. And I have signs everywhere that says, don't forget to do your taxes, young lady. Taxes, 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 which is part that many artists don't want to do. Me. But you got to do it, right? You got to do it. So today is my day where I probably won't be building a lot of Lego. I'm going to be doing, I like to do the things I don't like to do first. So we'll be doing a few of those things today. The things that I find like, I don't want to do. I'll do those today. It's Monday. Monday's kind of a volatile day anyway for me. So I will put some things on my list that I don't want to do, like get ready for taxes. So that's kind of what that's about. So mindset. Thank you for asking, guys. I really appreciate it. Jacob says, I have been playing around with it and doing drawing and tracing with it. I sent you 2 emails of it. Did you see them? Would love to get your feedback. I wrote you on the Mickey Mouse and the character from SpongeBob that you did. If you sent me more, I've just not looked at it because what was yesterday? Family Day. So like I said, social media goes off pretty much on the day. There's a couple of things that I might reach out to people if I have to, like my dad calls. Like today, for instance, I'm just remembering that my cousin is probably going, don't forget your grocery list. There it is. Don't forget your grocery list from my cousin. Yep. Let's see. I'll just have to give me till 11. I'm just going to do that right now. Thank you for allowing me to do this because I just realized broadcasting right now. Thanks, hon. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. And then he'll come and pick up COVID test appointments for my father because the convalescent hospital where my mother is requires the long COVID test, the 2-dayer. So my father being in his 80s, there's no way. The scheduling he just was like, I don't even want to. So I do it for him every week. And he sees my mother. He wants to see my mom twice a week. And in order to see my mom twice a week, he's got to get COVID tested in time for the results to show up. Well, the facility has COVID right now, and we can't visit my mother at all because there are 30 non-residents and then about 8 residents. My mother's a resident that has it. She doesn't have it, but they won't let people visit right now. So I'm just having my dad test to keep him in the habit. Does that make sense? So I could say don't test, but I want to keep him in the rhythm going so that when they call up and they say, you can see you, for example, let's say they call you up and they say, you can see your mom tomorrow. We already have a test in place that we have results sitting, you see? So it's proactive, but so I send him every week the tests, the appointments, and then he goes and gets tested. And we just keep that wheel rolling. I actually asked the people who administer the test if this was okay because, and they said, yeah, you need to test as often as you want. It's free. Somebody's paying for it, right? But they said, go ahead. I said, I need it for my mom's convalescent hospital. And they said, no problem. So I do every Sunday because I see my mom every Tuesday. But right now I can't. But I'm keeping that habit. I'm keeping it fresh in my mind when I have to book the appointment, because it takes about 24 to 48 hours to get the results. And then that way, if I want to see my mom on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I've got the results in my hot little hands. So yeah, crazy stuff. But that on top of everything else that I'm doing, right? So Jacob, I'm happy that you're sending me this stuff. I really would like it, but I am going to encourage you to think about joining Terry's tribe. Okay? Because, dude, it was meant for you. Gumball Rally. Yes, Janet, thank you. See, she knows everything. Janet knows everything. Monorail closing February 14th, due to reopen on March 6th. Yeah. But that's the key right there, Joe. Due to reopen, which was not on the article that got me to click, that baited me to click. See, I'll work all those words in there. Jacob says, I've been playing around with different kinds of drawing apps on iPad. I know there is Procreate and Sketchbook, Adobe Draw and Adobe Fresco. So which one of those would probably be the best? Well, here's a great question. I should probably answer it on Friday, but because it's you, Jacob, I'll answer it now. Sketchbook is dying. Okay. That seems to be one that's on its way out. I hate to say it because I love Sketchbook. I just love the way it worked. But of course, when I fall in love with something, I say to myself, wait a minute, what's going on? It was a simple program and I thought it worked really, really well. Procreate is free and Procreate takes more to learn, but you can go on a YouTube channel and there's lots of people who will teach you Procreate and they're real good. They're real good. So I've been using that one. I like it very much. I think it's quite nice. However, Adobe Fresco is one of my favorites. But the challenge with Adobe Fresco is it's an Adobe product. And we know what happens with Adobe, right? You have to have a membership. Like my Patreon page, you join a membership and it's so much per month based on what you're using from Adobe. And it's not $5 a month, $60 a year. So don't get excited because Adobe's going to charge you a lot more than I do. But then you have, depending on the level of membership you choose, you get to use a certain amount of Adobe products. Since I use a lot of Adobe products, yes, they've got me for the maximum per month. It's part of my business investment is Adobe products. So I can use Fresco, Photoshop, the font program, I don't know them all by their actual names. I just use them a lot. Illustrator. What else do I use? I know I use more. I use so many that I love. Stock footage, fonts, but they, you can access their library in stages based on how much you're going to pay per month. So take a look at Adobe if Adobe is your thing. I like Fresco because Fresco allows me to do a one that's the drawing is pixelated and the other drawing is vector. So the vector, of course, allows you to make it larger and make it smaller. On Procreate, it's the pixelated kind, but you just make it really big when you're doing it. I'm learning now exactly how to do that because I never think about that because I use pen and paper usually. Before I started doing digital. Digital is very new to me, Jacob. So yeah, but there's things I love and there's lots of Procreate teachers out there who are very, very good. And then once you decide you really like Procreate, you can start to possibly invest in a teacher because there are teachers who will charge you a couple $100 or whatever, and they'll have modules you can learn that go more in depth than, say, the YouTube channel ones do. But you may find that the YouTube channel ones are just what you need, and off you go. You get it, right? I know you're younger than me, Jacob, so automatically I give you the possibility that you'll catch on faster than me. I need to be spoon-fed pretty much. So things take longer for me. I'm taking a class right now and I'm very, very slow. And I know the teacher is so sweet. She's helped me to understand how to bring a product to market, like with manufacturers and stuff. And I'm so slow because it's so much text and marketing, which is bleh, and thought processes and things that my mind is, it's not drawing is what I'm saying. It's not artsy. So my brain goes, it's like taxes kind of feels like. No offense to her because she's a great teacher, but it's stuff that I can only do in little bits. And then I can't do the screen stuff too often because it feels like I just start to nod off. So I limit my time on doing stuff like this. But that's me because I'm not used to this venue. But if you're used to this venue, if you're used to the digital venue, you're going to take to it a lot faster than I do. And for those of you who are like me, don't not do it. Like it took me forever to learn how to text. But once I did, it's like one of the best things I've ever learned is texting because you can see how I can talk. So if you're someone who wants to text me a quick note on Messenger or whatever, I'll answer you in a quick note. You won't be on the phone for an hour. So, and it works because I have work to do. So you can at least get your question answered quick and easy and not have all of the storytelling blah, blah that I tend to do. Right. One to get LOL. Just kidding. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm thinking about getting Adobe Fresco. It's a good app for good. Well, yeah, they're all good for tracing. Okay. They all work because they have a thing called layers. Layers are amazing. And Procreate has them, Fresco has them, etc., etc. The thing I like about Fresco is they have a vector pen, so I don't have to transfer my pixel drawing into vector format, which is Illustrator. Illustrator's still a bit too much for me. It's too much for my brain. So I dip a toe in it a little bit and then I run away. So I mean, honestly, it's a lot for me to comprehend. But Illustrator's an amazing program. So many people use it. So many people love it. It's going to take me some time. Yeah. So Fresco's great. But so is Procreate's good too. A lot of people do amazing work. I mean, look at just put Procreate in your YouTube search and see what people are doing. They're doing amazing stuff with it. And it's a free program. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So before you spend your money, try and work with that one. Please don't do anything that you don't love, such as interviewing. If you're feeling it, great, but otherwise thank you, Angie. I really appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of people have suggested that I interview others, and it's not that I won't ever. It's just that requires coordinating with another person's schedule. So, for example, you may have seen that there's an amazing guy that pops in here, one of my mentors, Tim Gillette. I hear from Tim every so often. He does a lot of interviewing. Okay. He even holds events, but he will tell you the upside and the downside of what he does. One of the things that happens is someone will want to be interviewed. He'll set it all up and then they don't show. And that all the work that he has to do to prepare, to promote, to do all of that, I'm not so sure I'm in that zone. I know a lot of people out there love to do the interviewing. So I, right now, kind of feel like I'd like to send you to them unless I am fortunate enough to get the opportunity to interview someone, and then I may do it. But I don't want that to be what the channel's about. And I will be doing some interviewing, but it won't be live. Okay. Yet. Okay. I watch and see the work that people do. This is not an easy thing for people to do. It requires someone, and is that person going to show up? And if they do show up, are they going to be a good interview? Blah, blah, blah. So that's all I'm saying is I'm not sure. So thank you for saying that, Angie. I really, really appreciate you saying that. What is the name of the photography channel you're talking about? The person, Jacob, the person who burned out and is now off shooting and no longer doing recommendations, that guy? Yeah, he announced Christmas time that he and a wife were hanging it up, and they were just going to pop in and say howdy as they went around shooting because they were done. Have millions of viewers. Yeah, they're like, I think 1 million or 2 million or something like that. And he just got on and said he was gonna stop and go shooting, and he was traveling. And as I understand it, they're minimal, so they're not taking a lot of stuff. He's taking his camera equipment, and they're just kind of, I don't know if they're going to be visiting with people and sleeping on their couch or whatever, or if they're going to be nomads like in a Winnebago or something. But he was feeling like he needed to do that, And then there's another guy. He's really, really huge photographer. I think his first name is Peter. He actually has a joint venture with a great company called Nomadic, which I made my backpack. I love Nomadic. They're great. I have my suitcase by them. I have a backpack by them. I love them, love them, love them. They're a great company. But he has a camera bag that they got with him to develop. So they reached out to him and the camera bag. So go to nomadic.com and look up this photographer. Photography, as you can see, is not my wheelhouse, so I cannot tell you a name. Yeah. So okay. So let me help you with this. You go on YouTube and you just do photography and start to look at people. This guy you'll see, he's huge. He's got lots of followers. This person who is in link with Nomadic, or you can go to Nomadic, find out his name, and look for him there. Okay, my husband watches those, used to watch those people. Now I don't know if he watches them as much. He watches this amazing coffee guy whose name I don't remember either, because it's not my journey, right? Okay, what is my journey? Okay, so I told you I want to paint. So I got the opportunity to work with a guy that, if you search for him on YouTube or you know him already, he goes by the handle 1000. So TEN 100, and he is a muralist, and his murals are gorgeous. His colors are gorgeous. He's young as can be. He's adorable. He's a sweet, sweet fella, very generous. And he does time lapses of his work, and then he'll talk about his work. Well, I had the opportunity to take an online course with him, which I'm close to being done. I was really doing well. It was a 30-day class. I was really doing well. Thank goodness when I opt in, I have it for life. So I can go back and take the last 3 lessons. I did all but the last 3 lessons because I had to do my work. But I was having so much fun because his class was about finding your style. And he gives you some tips on how to find your painting style, or your, what is your, working for Disney so long, your painting style can look a lot like Disney. Your sculpting style can look a lot like Disney. So I, for my own art, break that. Okay, I don't want my art to look like Disney, because Disney has Disney art and I'm Terry, so I want Terry art. Okay, like my sculptures, if I do a sculpture for Disney characters, it doesn't necessarily look like other Disney artists. It looks like Terry's Disney art, my sculptures. And when I sculpt for myself, you do not see Disney in it at all. Okay, but it took a long time for me to break that, because I've been with Disney for over 30, 40 years. I joined when I was in my 20s. So remember, I told you I'm going to be 65. So I've been with Disney a long time as an Imagineer since 1987. So you guys can do the math on that one. But the point is this, that once you create in the Disney fashion, when you go to do some of your own stuff, it could have that Disney feel. Now, many of you, that's what you want. And yay for you, you're there. But for me, I want something different. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to ask yourself as an artist, what is it you want? And these are some of the things we talk about on Patreon. What is it you want in your life? And what do you want to share? And how can you help? That's what that's about. Yeah. That's what that's about. So I can't, Jacob, tell you exactly the photography channel, but search it. You may have photographers appeal to you that are different from the photographers that appeal to my husband, right? Okay. So it's all going to be different. But I'll tell you, YouTube is the place to go first. All right. And I am taking from several painters to get the feel of what, and then I'm cherry picking what I like about learning. I'm painting in acrylics. I was terrible at acrylics as a young person, and now I'm really. And 1000 has introduced to me a form of acrylics that I think will help me in my sculpting, which is surprising. So you just learn from these wonderful artists that are willing to share, and I want to be like them and share as well. So that's the cool thing. Yep, that's the cool thing. Long-winded answer, wasn't it? Okay. Bobby says, hi, Terry. Hope you're having a great day. This is my last day of watching you live for a while. I got to go back to work tomorrow. I hope we can get together again soon. We'll talk about it, sweetie. Plan on February, because January is my tax stuff, but we'll work on it. I promise we will. It makes perfect sense. We really enjoy your visits. Thank you. I love you, Bob. And Bob is one of the people. Bob Burdine likes to talk live, but it's really hard for me to do that because it can be a 3-hour conversation and I really have to focus. January is a big month for me. It's a hit the ground running month. But then if you know me, every month is a hit the ground running month, which is why I need to rest in the hammock between Christmas and New Year's. And if you're a go-getter like me, you treat that just as tenaciously as you would your work. Just advice. Take it from me or leave it. Hi, Ava. Going to try to make it down to Bakersfield to see you in Kimberly. I'd love it, Ava. I would love it. I hope you can make it. I would love to see you. You may have to remind me who you are, all of you behind the masks, because we're going to be wearing masks. So if I look at you like I don't know who you are, it's because I'm not. I think these glasses help everyone know me, and then this, right? But boy, people will come up and they'll be like, "Why don't you recognize me?" And because we're so comfortable. I mean, we're so used to masks. I won't say we're comfortable, but we're used to them, aren't we? Yeah, we really are. My friends absolutely loved your pumpkin book that I sent as gift. Thank you. I'll have the book, Giggling Pumpkins, available at the table at Mousecon. I just want to make sure if you want that first book that I've illustrated that's non-Disney, that you grab it. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. The art you find in there really isn't Disney reminiscent. It's really a style of my own. So and Jacob, I did a lot of those digitally. Not the characters as much as the foliage in that book, because there were lots of pumpkin vines, pumpkin flowers, and pumpkins. So I did it digitally so I could move stuff around and redraw it, my own drawings. That's the nice thing about layers, is if you do a vine that's like in a C shape, you can cut them apart. You can cut and paste and move them around and not draw those 50 times. So I love digital and I love layers. And in some cases, it'll work as fast as you can think, especially if you have like an iPad or a thing or a Cintiq or something. You can draw and hit layers and draw and hit layers and draw and hit layers. And ideas grow from your brain if you do like a speed draw. So digital is cool. I'm going to give it to you. Thank you, Michael, for saying that about the book. I really appreciate it. Jacob says, and there are so many of them on here now too. I love Hayes Family Vlog. It's a family that travels to Disneyland, and their daughter has a condition called alopecia. I love watching it. It's really sweet. There you go. See? And this is the thing. If you're someone who has this yearn to broadcast on a YouTube or do like I'm doing, well, maybe not like I'm doing, but you want to do a channel of your own, don't think that there's too much out there. Your point of view is your point of view, and your point of view we want to hear. You're gonna you're gonna connect with me in different ways. So, for example, I mentioned 1000, and please look him up. He's quite impressive. There was another girl that I took painting from that, although some of her tips were good, she wasn't a very good teacher. She was kind of more into herself than into the student, and that's not my wheelhouse. Now, some of you may love that, but for me, I like to bounce it off the teacher and get some feedback. So she wasn't my cup of tea. My point is, don't, you see thousands of people talking about cameras and you're a photographer, get your body on there, because your point of view is going to touch certain people differently than others. Yeah. It's just the way we can't please everybody, nor should we try, but if you want to do it, start out small and do it a little bigger, and know that if I can do it, you can do it. Trust me on this. Every day is a challenge when it comes to social media. Jacob said, I meant it's really sweet. Sorry, just kidding. Yes. And don't worry about apologizing too much. A couple of you got like really excited during the Friday, Ask Me Anything. And then you wrote me an email saying you apologized because you were so passionate. And hey, let the passion flow, guys. Look at me. I'm not in front of that light there. I don't want that in your face. Let that passion flow. If you're excited and like you noticed, you want to tell a joke, you want to talk about what's happening and going on, that's what this channel is for. So be passionate, be fun. It's nice to know you're out there and that I'm touching base with a lot of you. So that's great. There's another great theme park blogger here on YouTube called Paging Mr. Morrow, and he is really good at making videos. There you go. So there you go. Right? I'm really good at making videos too. I just need to make them. And then I've made tons. I need to post them. So that's this year. So stay tuned. You will see more, because my husband's helping me with that. Rose Burdine says, hi, Terry. We gave our grandson the complete hard copy set let's see. And I gave our grandson the complete hard copy set that came in a cute treasure chest box with a lock for Harry Potter books. He loved them. Yes. I should show you my video collectible that my husband bought for me years ago. Years ago. It's a beautiful box. It comes with like all kinds of goodies in it. But what it did come with all the films and all the behind the scenes. And at that time, I'm not going to say about that now, but at that time, it was the only way you could get the behind the scenes videos. That was your grabber, buy this and you get those. And that's what I wanted. And he bought that for me. And I love it, love it, love it, love it. The box is cool too. But I love it. I love the behind the scenes. One of the things I found out when watching that, and you all probably know it already with Harry Potter movies, is those candles were real. They were practical, not CG. And I thought, why would you do that? Some of the candles, to make it look like a lot of candles, were computer generated, but most of them were real. And if you watch this, it's on Netflix, I think. If you watch the 20-year reunion of all the Harry Potter folks, which is beautiful, it's lovely. I highly recommend it. They talk about how the candle was burning through the monofilament and how the kids were looking up and going, fire marshal probably had a field day. So Rose, I'm glad you did that, because I'll tell him to watch that 20-year anniversary and he'll be excited. It's great seeing those kids. I was a big fan of Ron. I just thought that Ron was the cutest thing since sliced butter, and he still is. His name is Rupert, and he's just adorable. And to hear him talk about it, to hear all of them talk about their Harry Potter experience is really lovely. So if you want to see it, Disneyland was lovely, Jacob. I didn't see Disneyland. I saw California Adventure. We never made it over to Disneyland. We were having so much fun in California Adventure that I never crossed over. I never thought that would happen. One of my favorite parts was having dinner with my dear friends, Holly and her family. They set us at the Lamplight Inn, which has become my favorite restaurant. They set us at the Lamplight Inn. I don't know where I was looking. Sorry. They set us at the Lamplight Inn and Lamplighter Inn, and at a table with a fire in the middle. So we were already like 6 feet apart distance. We could eat comfortably and safely. However, her family, I didn't worry about. They had been boosted. They had had shots. We had taken tests early so we could protect her, because she's got little kids. So we wanted to make sure we were all safe, and we were. So it was great. We had a lovely dinner, and I presented her with an amazing sculpture her husband had commissioned. Mwah! Choice. Wonderful experience. And I loved it. And I fell in love with her children too, because her kids really didn't want to ride rides at California Adventure Park. They wanted to go to that place where you swing on rope and you run across the wilderness area. And there was like 3 other children there. So it was a great place for COVID, because no kids wanted to be in there. They all wanted to ride rides. It was excellent. It was excellent. But then Holly told me that when they went over to Disneyland, she and her daughter became crazy people and wanted to ride every ride in the park. They wanted to ride every single ride in Disneyland. So she said they got there at 8, and she and her little daughter, who was like 7 or 8 years old, closed the park at midnight. Isn't that neat? Yeah, it was great. It was great to spend the day with them. I loved it. How did you ring in the new year? At home. Not a party person, stay indoors, made an amazing dinner. I made, for my husband, we had toasted the new year in with champagne. We always do. Any excuse, right? But we toasted with a French champagne. Champagne is from France, and a true champagne comes from France. So everything else is sparkling wine, just so you know. And we did that, and we watched some movies, because we've got the screeners coming. So we watched a couple of the screeners. We actually saw one that I liked that has Soho in the title. I can't tell you the rest. We also, yesterday, I watched one called Lost Daughter, and I still am not quite sure what's going on with that movie. Weird movie. I may watch the end again. Maybe I missed something, but I remember sitting there going, huh? I saw the preview, went, huh? Then I watched the movie and went, huh? So I may have to watch it again, maybe to understand it. Sometimes I have to watch a movie a couple of times to really understand what it is. We still haven't seen Spider-Man, the big hit for 2021, but that's because we won't go in a theater to see it. So we're praying that we'll get a screener for it. And if we don't, or at least be able to stream it, if we don't, then we're going to have to go see it. But we figure if we let a little distance happen, less and less people, more and more people will have seen it, and less, so we can get in and out of the theater safely. That's what happens when you have someone that's high risk. You want to be extra, extra careful when they tell you COVID is out there and running rampant. But that's how I did it at home with my dog and my husband. And we just waited. We had an alarm set for midnight. My neighborhood bangs pots and makes the thingies and all that. So we did that out the back door, not the front. And, because everything's got to be at a distance, doesn't it? Yep. Keep it safe. It's a shame that they have condensed Cursed Child into one play. I'm sure that you would have loved it as a two-parter. Stephen, I would have. Yeah, I would have. Absolutely. But I have seen some great stuff, some cool stuff. Mary Sue, hi. I love when you talk about your early years. It's one of my favorite things you talk about. Yeah, like ask me if you happen to be Mary Sue, if you happen to be on the Ask Me Anything. Ask me what it was like for my mother to raise me as a little kid. It's like my mom my mom said I was a beautiful baby, but I told her the mind is the first thing to go, right? Yeah. Well, you didn't turn into a wolf you don't turn into a wolf every full moon, so you're not that different. How do you know? Joe, you're funny. Trains a calling. Yeah, I had to run and see, but it was a false alarm. It was psych. What's going to happen. Yeah, it'll come. They said it's going to come between 8 and 12, and it's 11 right now. It'll probably come at like 1, but there you go. Yes. Well, we liked it. My husband likes trains, so he has that train whistle, and it's cute. It's different. Morning, Terry. I joined the tribe and look forward to meeting everyone. Judy, as soon as I get off here, I will. Did you go to Facebook? Because I got to put you in. And I hope you come and join us for the Zoom call. I email it through the tribe, and then I also put it on the page. But I will do that. And thank you. I saw your name there, and I got so excited. So thank you. I can't wait to learn more about you, Judy. Have all the ghosts made their way to their adopted families? No, Angie. I still have 10 that need to get to their families and 8 that are yet to be adopted. But I'm laid back not about sending them out. I just told people that there was a hammock between Christmas and New Year's, and I was doing nothing. So this is the week that I get them all boxed up and shipped. Yeah, and I've told the parents. Parents all know that they can write to me and say, Terry, how's it going? Because I haven't heard anything in a while. Because sometimes I'll think I've written to you and I haven't. Like, for example, for the tribe, I always send a digital gift. I thought I sent it. I hadn't sent it. So that's on my list too, is to send the digital gift. So it's a shame that, there's just a lot going on in my head, honestly. It really is. Hello, Susan. If you love Harry Potter graphic art, check out the Mina Lima editions of the Harry Potter books. Mina Lima are graphic artists who gave all the art, who probably did all the work for the movies. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something, Susan. Thank you for that. I will definitely check them out. But if you really want to, this is what's cute. I went to London in 2019, just before the pandemic. I went. Saw people that I could in the way that I could, because I was coming from Paris. I do a tour where you can tour with me all over Paris and see things you might not go see, non-touristy stuff. And I just take 4 to 6 people with me. So it's an investment when you go with me. But I was coming off of that through London because London is so close. And I thought I got to see the people in London, right? So I went, and my friend Damien took me to Harry Potter, and he kept wanting me to get to the back end of it. And I had never seen the actual sets and props and models and everything. But I spent a lot of time in the front part, which are all the sets. You can walk through the sets, you can walk around the sets, you can look at the sculptures, it's amazing. But he wanted me to get to the second half where there were audio animatronic characters and there were models. Well, as an Imagineer and as a Muppeteer, I perform and puppeteer audio animatronic characters a lot. And I also build a lot of models and I sculpt a lot of miniature stuff. So that part of Harry Potter was not as interesting to me as the set stuff. You know, being able to operate the snake door, I was in my element. So he then soon realized that walking through some of these great halls that I saw in the movie, being opposite the train, posing with the bat, all that stuff was me. The big stuff was what I liked. So so the art of the big stuff is what gets me going. Seeing the house, walking on the bridge, wowzer. Okay, wow, just amazing. But I will check them out, Susan. That would be fun. And I hope everybody else is reading your comments so they will too. Thank you, Michael. Mom and I love being part of it, and I love that you're a part of it. He's something, this one. He's the book guy. He can help you with like books and stuff if you want to collect. He just loves books like me. So he and I talk about books, and then his mom pops in and chats with us as well, which is lovely because it's per household, guys. Y'all don't, y'all live in the same house. You usually sitting in front of the computer. Y'all don't have to pay $5, just one person. Yeah, yep. Told you, over deliver. Randy says next year is the Disney Company 100-year anniversary. Wow, yes. I hope they are planning something huge. I hope so too. What do you think I should do sculpturally? That's an interesting question, huh, Randy? That may be something to ask the tribe, right? Hello, Leslie. You're talking D23 Expo, not D23 Destination D, right? Yes. The Expo that's happening in the summer. I'm probably going to be a part of it this year. I wasn't. Yes, I was. I've been a part of every single one except for one. And I can't remember which one I wasn't a part of. And I think it was outside, not inside, but I've been inside all the other ones. But yeah, the Expo, the one that has like zillions of people with the sorcerers who buy everything before you get there. That one. Yeah, that one. Am I jaded, Leslie? Yeah. Bonnie says, I visited my friend in San Francisco this past weekend. We, of course, discussed Disney and the parks, mentioned your dragon, and he instantly looked it up and was amazed. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. In fact, people have been sending me some videos that people have taken of the dragon. It got refurbished, and it looks beautiful. And then my friend Liz Reed, who is a Disney Paris, she just loves it. She's all things Disney Paris. So bless her heart. That reminds me, I need to mail her something. Let me just write that down. Thank you, guys. You're jogging the memory again. But anyway, yeah. So yes, that's one of the projects that I did along with Big Thunder Paris. Paris is my park. I also have things in Tokyo, Disneyland, and in Florida at Walt Disney World. Yep. Yeah, pieces everywhere. That's what happens. That's what happens. Just looked at Eat That Frog. Oh, Brian Tracy. Okay, now I get it. I was not familiar with it before, but I've known Brian Tracy for years. I'll check it out. Yeah, Brian Tracy is one of my favorite books. Yeah, it's one of my favorite books. Yeah, I read it. I reread it often, but authors, I also like Zig Ziglar. So, and Jim Rohn is my favorite. So they can transpose and, but I just know the titles. I try to remember the titles. But Eat That Frog is great. It talks about taking little nibbles, not big bites. So you don't give yourself a meltdown. Right. Speaking of a Tigger sculpture, we need to talk. Okay, Randy, message me and we will. Okay? Message me and we will. And think of your budget. And we'll see if we can't work within that. Okay. All right, sweetie. Yeah, I do private commissions. I do one of a kinds for people, and then it's yours and yours alone. There will be no other after it's done. Yeah. Molds are broken, and yeah, I have a whole idea on how to make them really super cool, but I'll share that with you as we go. Hello there. You notice how I said that because I don't understand that message. So you'll have to spell it out because I'm almost 65. Oh, yes, Mickey Mouse and Patrick Star. Yes, Jacob, those were the ones I saw. And I did respond to you. So if you've got more, I will look them up later today. Yeah, I just read your email. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Yeah, I saw that you mentioned something about tips for my pen on Amazon. So what is that exactly? I don't have my pencil with me, but if you find that the surface of the iPad is too slippery, okay, so let me not draw on my hand. But if this is my iPad and this is the pencil, you know how it kind of, you know how you have a bit of drag on the paper. When you draw on paper, you feel that sort of drawing drag. Um, on the iPad, it's wee. It's like ice skating on ice. Well, they've designed a little rubber cone that goes on the tip of your pencil, and it creates drag, so it doesn't go wee. So if you think that will help you in drawing, look at Amazon. Look at Amazon pencil tips, and they're very, very inexpensive. So like $6 to $8, $4. They're small, and they give you like 8 tips or something because they do wear down, so you have to replace them. But I'll try to remember to show you what I'm talking about. My pencil's in the other room, so I won't be able to show you today, but I will if you're still curious. Okay. Actually, our grandson's aunties loved it too. Yay! Well, see, everybody loves that stuff. Come on. Angie Floyd, here, Angie. Just kidding. Happy New Year. You guys are so sweet. I love when you talk to each other. This is Terry Vision, Terry TV. Terry TV, maybe that's what I should call it. I was wondering because I was calling it a quiet, comfy chat for COVID, a place to come out when the things were scary. But I like Terry TV. I'm going to ask my husband what he thinks. That's really clever. I'm going to give that to you, Joe. Joe, you're good at what you do, buddy. Thank you. I like that. Interviewing is great, but because it depends on schedules matching up, it's insane to do it live. If you can do interviews, that's great, but do them first and then advertise them while you're editing. I think that's a great idea, Joe, and that may be the way that I do interviews, because then you're more flexible, aren't you? You don't have to worry that they're going to say something or do something that you're like, oh my God, you don't want to go through that, do you? Yeah, great. You're full of good ideas today, Joe. Appreciate it. Gotta run, he says. Got an appointment. Mwah! Love you. I'm getting ready to wind it down myself, my friend. So be safe, be well. See you Friday. Think about joining the tribe, Joe. Paul says, good morning. I agree about Harry Potter special. It was wonderful. It's on HBO. Thank you. It's on HBO Max. I can never tell. This is screener time, so we have all of them. And I just can't. My husband pops it up and we watch it. And we go, oh my God, we love it. I really thought it was on Netflix. So thank you, Paul, for making that, clarifying that, because not everybody has HBO Max. Sculpt a mini version of Walt and Mickey holding hands statue at Disneyland. A good color would be bronze gold. They've done that already, though. So maybe we should do something different. Okay, I have a wonderful sculpture of that sitting across from me right over there. Yeah, over that way. I have it already. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. We'll see. It's a great idea. It's in bronze gold, too. You see, great minds think alike, just like you, Jacob. I want to go to Paris with you. No urge for you to go without me. Yeah, sometimes you can be like my friend Anna, who just met me at Disneyland, because it is an investment to tour with me. So she said, can I just meet you there for the day? And I said, of course. So there's that too. You can work out your schedule or whatever, and then just say, what day are you going to be there, and meet me there if I'm there for a while. So I'll let you know if that happens, Angie. It might be better for the budget. But I'll let you know both phases when I do it. Right now with COVID, I can't even schedule it. I was thinking of scheduling it for 2023, but with the way things are going, I may push that to 2024 or fall of 23. I'm waiting. I'm letting a few months go by before I jump onto it, because people are going to have to put down a deposit, and that deposit won't be necessarily refundable, because I have to pay for stuff in Paris to get the tour going. So I want to make sure we're going to be able to go. Yeah, absolutely. Which one did I do at WDW? Splash Mountain. So if they get rid of it, the boat will be gone, and then I won't have something at Splash Mountain. But I did the boat and the rabbit. Thank you, Randy. You're so sweet. I am sending your piece off today. You're winning. That's about the tribe. Okay. So in the tribe, we do a treasure chest where I've been in my garage. I have a collection, and rather than put it on eBay, I give it to you guys. Told you, I over deliver. Walt Disney World Resort, I mean, sorry, just kidding, but I do think it's in Disneyland too. Yes, well, my boat is not. My Fox, it was in Splash Mountain. That was my audition piece. I had to redo Brer Fox as an audition piece to get into Imagineering sculpture department, and that's still there right now until if they change it, he'll be out. So, you know, catch as catch can. I still have Paris. Is that what they say? Thank you, Angie. You're so sweet, so kind to tell you that. Okay, guys, how long have we done? We've done about an hour and 45 minutes. I know I probably should have kept this to about an hour, but I just like to answer all your questions. So you keep me talking, then I'll do the best I can. Guys, remember, do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better if you're going in that, if you're feeling kind of melancholy and in that dark place. And sometimes we do as human beings, do something nice for someone else. And it's as simple as, if you go to a Starbucks, just buy a coffee for the person in the car behind you, or say a nice word to someone who looks like they're a little frazzled, having a rough day. And that can be on the phone. I spoke to somebody on the phone the other day and I asked her how she was. And I said, no, really, how are you? And she told me, and she said, you've made me feel better. So you never know. It's not going to actually cost money if you help someone out. But the more you start to help other people with a kind word or a sweet thing, or as Michael Roman said, a little gift when they least expect it, bam, you're going to find that that's going to just reach out to you. You remember the Grinch? How his heart got bigger once he gave. So, guys, you're going to really enjoy it. So do that. Love you. Have a great week. Get your taxes done. Yeah, don't hit me, Randy. I'm going to get started. Remember, a toe, not the whole frog, okay? All right, please email me your addresses, Jacob. I wanted to send you a copy of my Mickey Mouse drawing. Okay, great. We'll do that. Okay? All right. Okay, beautiful. Shipping address. Yes, I know. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me today. You really hung in there with me today, which I'm not surprised. I'm just excited. So thank you so much. I will see you Friday for Ask Me Anything Friday. Hot and heavy, ready to go, raring to go, excited to go, 9:30 Pacific. All right. Take care, everyone. Be well, be real, be good.